Hey everyone, it's Jenna from Cruise Blog, and today I'm going to talk about the 7 things I wish I knew before my first cruise with Celebrity Cruises. Let's get started. I tried my first celebrity cruise ever on Celebrity Silhouette, and there were a few things I wish I knew before setting foot on board. It's easy to stick to the status quo when it comes to cruising. Even still, I always aim to try something new on every cruise, whether trying a new-to-me cruise line or simply booking a type of cabin I haven't booked before. Exploring something new, of course, comes with learning curves, so when I booked my first ever celebrity cruise, a 7-night Norwegian Fjords itinerary on Celebrity Silhouette, I expected to encounter a few growing pains. I wasn't sure what to expect with the cruise line's atmosphere, dining experience, and onboard activities, but I was excited to see what Celebrity Cruises was all about. After my week on board, these are the 7 things I wish I knew beforehand. First up, loyalty perks are plentiful, but be sure to read the fine print. Before I set foot on a Celebrity Cruise, I made sure to match my loyalty status with Royal Caribbean to Celebrity Cruises. The two lines offer a status matching program, and my Diamond Plus status with Royal Caribbean meant that I qualified for Elite Plus, the second highest tier in Celebrity's Captain's Club. As an Elite Plus member, I received excellent perks during my Celebrity Cruise, including free drinks during the ship's daily happy hour, access to exclusive events, and discounts on extras like specialty dining and Wi-Fi packages. Even with these lucrative perks, I wish I knew to read the fine print of each loyalty benefit. The happy hour, for instance, only offers a very limited menu of beverages, and not every bar on board participates in the daily event. In addition, while I could receive 2 complimentary bags of laundry with my status, I didn't realize the benefit's stringent limitations. As I was about to send a bag of dirty clothes to the ship's laundry services on the 5th day of my cruise, I realized the benefit had expired. It was not offered within 3 days of disembarkation. If I knew to read the fine print, I would have had a better idea of the ins and outs of each loyalty benefit. Next up, I wish I knew not to wait until the end of the cruise to try new venues. Like most of today's modern cruise ships, Celebrity Silhouette boasts numerous bars, lounges, entertainment venues, and onboard activities to keep passengers busy during their time on board. Throughout my week-long cruise, however, I found myself sticking to the same venues, whether catching a game at the sports bar or enjoying a gorgeous view of Norway from the Sunset Bar. It wasn't until the final night of my cruise that I came across the Ensemble Lounge, a low-key, cozy bar offering live music and an elegant cocktail menu. The Ensemble Lounge was far less busy than venues like the Martini Bar and Café El Bacho, and I was impressed by the performance from the instrumentalist and vocalist. Almost immediately, I regretted not finding the lounge sooner, and it made me wonder what else I missed out on by sticking to the same familiar lounges all week long. On my next Celebrity Cruise, I'll be sure to check out more venues around the ship at the start of the cruise rather than the end. Next up, I wish I knew that the price was comparable to Royal Caribbean. Celebrity Cruises is a premium cruise line, which is generally considered a step above mass market lines like Carnival and Royal Caribbean. Knowing this, I expected cruise fares on Celebrity ships to be moderately higher than those on Royal Caribbean, its sister brand. As someone who often cruises on a budget, I quickly wrote Celebrity off as too expensive for my travel style. As it turns out, my preconceived notions about Celebrity Cruises pricing was completely wrong. I began planning my European cruise, and I was surprised to see Celebrity's pricing comparable to Royal Caribbean's. When I first booked the cruise, I paid just $1,830 for 2 guests in an interior cabin, and that was comparable to the $1,858 I spent on a Royal Caribbean cruise to Europe. Although I ended up adding a 3rd guest to the cabin and upgrading to a balcony, I was still impressed with Celebrity's pricing. I only wish I knew to check Celebrity Cruises prices for previous vacations instead of assuming the premium line would be out of my budget. I also wish I knew about all of the live cooking stations at the buffet. One regret for my Celebrity Cruise is that I didn't know about all of the diverse cooking stations at Ocean View Cafe, the cruise line's signature buffet. Buffets are a staple on any cruise ship, but Celebrity's buffet is particularly impressive. It offers a wide selection of made-to-order cooking stations. Everything from a panini station to custom pastas and charred-to-order creme brulees were available on Celebrity Silhouette. Prior to embarking the ship, I didn't realize the breadth of stations that would be available. I unknowingly overlooked these stations during my first few buffet meals, and it was only later in the cruise that I realized just how many choices were offered. Next time, I'll know to try all of the various stations to better customize my dining experience. Another thing I wish I knew is that I should try more restaurants. Speaking of dining, one of my regrets for my celebrity cruise was not trying one of the cruise line's specialty restaurants. Like most cruise lines, Celebrity Cruises offers a mix of included restaurants and those that come with an extra charge. I often treat myself to specialty dining meals when cruising, but I decided against it on my first celebrity sailing. Having already spent a hefty chunk of change flying to Europe and booking 3 nights in Amsterdam, I wanted to save money by sticking to included dining venues. I stuck to this money-saving plan during my week on board, but I occasionally found myself regretting my choice. It wasn't until I got on board that I realized the variety of specialty dining available, whether technology-focused meals at Le Petit Chef or outdoor dining at the Porch. Prior to my cruise, I wish I knew I might want to try these dining options. If I had, I would have budgeted for a few specialty meals or purchased a dining package ahead of time. The sixth thing I wish I knew before my first celebrity cruise was that there was limited storage in the cabin. I had few complaints about the spacious balcony cabin I booked for my Celebrity Silhouette cruise. Despite the cabin's slight obstructed view, it was a comfortable place to rest and unwind during my week on board. Nonetheless, there was one aspect of my cabin I didn't love, and that was the storage space. Although older cruise cabins tend to lack features like storage and ample electrical outlets, cabins on cruise ships built after 2010 usually boast more modern features. Celebrity Silhouette was built in 2012, so I assumed there would be adequate storage space in the room. Unfortunately, I was disappointed with the storage space available. While there were 3 drawers in the cabin's dresser, the only other storage space, aside from the closet, were 2 shelves above the bed. I found these shelves too high for easy access. I shared my cabin with 2 relatives, and it was difficult to keep our belongings separated and organized. Looking back, I wish I brought easy-to-pack items like a hanging shoe organizer and magnetic hooks to keep the cabin less cluttered during the week. Finally, I wish I knew to arrive at activities earlier. While on board my first celebrity cruise, I was pleased to see activities that were totally new to me when browsing the cruise planner. I was intrigued by activities like the musical murder mystery game show and Olympic curling, and I couldn't wait to try them out. Yet if I had known beforehand, I would have arrived at onboard activities significantly earlier than I did. When I tried to attend the watercolor painting class, for example, I was turned away due to the activity reaching max capacity. On my next celebrity cruise, I'll make it a point to show up to activities at least 20 to 30 minutes before they are set to begin. Well, that is everything I have to share about the things I wish I knew before I cruised on Celebrity for the first time. Have you cruised on Celebrity before? If so, leave a comment sharing your thoughts about Celebrity and if you encountered any surprises on your first cruise. While you're at it, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the Cruise Blog channel, and turn on those bell notifications so you are notified every time we post a new video. Until next time, happy cruising!